Welcome back to Game of Jones. You are just in time for Chapter 5, Lands of the Lost. The party exits in the middle of a forest near the city of Carius. A rogue adventuring party holds the other stone, and has been paid by Azok's forces to deposit it in Venture, allowing the orcs to attack the heart of the city. They are led by Garnia, a dwarvish barbarian, the same one who almost killed Myra back in Garrison. They have a rogue named Illapa, a monk named Avrashon. Also among their number is a small, mute woman dressed entirely in white named Artemis. She recognizes Arkila, as the two of them are cousins. They avoid an altercation and ask the party to help them with a tough contract in exchange for the final stone. A blue sea monster has been seen sinking ships off the coast of Carius. The party agrees, and with Arkila, they head out to sea to find and kill this monster. The next day, they head out on a small carrack and discover that the monster is none other than an adult blue dragon. An epic battle is fought, and Iggy is almost killed in the process. But the 9 adventurers succeed, and the dragon is thrown from the sky and crashes into the ocean. By now, the tides are beginning to swell, and the large party is forced to take shelter atop a rocky crag. During the night, there is a flash of light, and the vanguard sees that Arkila and the other adventurers have left, teleporting away. Left alone, they decide to explore the dragon's lair the next day. In a vast underground cave, they discover the dragon recovering from his wounds. He informs them that his name is Thalassus. He feigns interest in the party, and instead bides his time, letting them give away information. He takes a particular interest in Ignatius, and finds out the city of Carius is responsible for the attempt on his life. He lets them go, and the vanguard return to Carius, attempting to warn the public of an impending dragon attack. Dragons are exceedingly rare, however, in the world, and their warnings fall on deaf ears. The party shakes the dust from their boots and heads out across the ocean, to find the next key hidden in the fog. That is, all the party except for Myra. The small halfling has decided to seek out an old classmate. He has been trailing her for months, and he has answers about what happened with their old mentor. She stands at the docks and waves as her friends sail off into the wild blue. Several days later, under the command of Captain Ananias Scholl of the Marrow's Folly, she and the rest of the crew teach the vanguard the ways of the sea. The fog soon closes in, and all direction is lost. Tentacles rise from the deep, and a primordial guardian kraken assaults the ship, breaking it apart and throwing the vanguard into the sea. Days pass, and they drift. Right before they are to expire from malnourishment, they wash up on the shores of an island. The party discovers the island is teeming with prehistoric life, and they are captured by locals headed by a young woman named Thane. She escorts her new prisoners towards Haruv, her village. Upon reaching it, they are ambushed by a tyrannosaur, a massive beast with a scarred face. An elf runs out of the woods, communing with the beast and convincing it to return to the jungle. His name is Van, an elvish ranger from the mainland who was shipwrecked a few years back. However, he has been missing for several centuries in real time, and the party knows that there is some kind of temporal displacement. The island experiences time in a different way than the rest of the prime-material plane. Van used to live near the edge of the Twilight Forest. His father went off on a hunting trip one day and disappeared. Van went looking for him, and his searches eventually led him to board a ship to look in far-off lands. He now stays away from the citizens of Haruv, preferring the wilds to community. He convinces Fane to let the vanguard go freely, and they all head to the local bar to sample the local drinks. The citizens of Haruv are a superstitious bunch with a severe phobia of magic and another tribe on the island known as the Vrail. Ignatius hates the lockdown of magic and murmurs veiled threats. The soldiers of Haruv seek Igni and throw him and Barrett into the blood pits, where they are assaulted by an allosaur. They prove their worth to the paranoid soldiers and are taken to the chief, a reptilian man named Glintscale. He tells them that their crimes will be absolved if they can solve the issues relating to Scar, the large tyrannosaur. They travel southwards to a large temple where she makes her nest. After being ambushed by a pack of raptors and dispelling a magic seal which causes a small earthquake, they discover that Scar's nest is empty. Her eggs have been taken, hidden away in the city. The party returns to warn the chief of the traitor. All the clues lead to one man in particular, and as he is brought to justice, Scar assaults the city. At this moment, the real traitor, a member of the Vrail, attacks. Guards fall, as does the chief. Eventually, he is defeated and the chief is killed. Amnon brings him back to life, but as the party escapes with their Vrail prisoner, they look back and see the chief's son running a knife across Glintscale's throat. Guards call out after them, and the party runs through the city, escaping with the help of Fane. Along the way, they return Scar's eggs to her, ending her rampage. The vanguard tell Captain Ananias to ready his ship and meet them at the southern end of the island. Now the party heads eastward, and comes across a sunken temple. Inside, an ancient warrior tells them of an old, massive beast. that wrought havoc across the land hundreds, if not thousands of years ago. It could not be beaten, and so a team of heroes trapped it on this island and sealed it away out of time with 3 seals located in 3 temples. Already the party has destroyed one, and now this ancient spirit guards this one. In order to go home, they must defeat him and the Aboleth Guardian. In the fight, Van is cursed, and must now stay in water or dry out to the point of death. Nevertheless, the seal is broken, and the party makes their way southwards, to Avant-Grin, the city of the Vrael, who happen to be a tribe of Yuan-Ti. The City of Serpents and her empress, Yasmin Sverith, offer a warm welcome. The Nightmare Empress offers to cure Van and break the seal in her temple if the vanguard will kill Yondal, a dissenter and rival. The party tracks him to a nearby mountain and assaults his forces. He hurls massive arrows from the back of a Quetzalcoatlus, and Ignatius falls in the battle. Even blinded and near death, Amnon revives him and the party licks their wounds. In his possession was the third and perhaps final book of history that recounts the final battle in Neverwood between the 6 heroes and Emor's champion, the archetypal dragon Alfernos. All seems lost until Faven arrives and mortally wounds the dragon, imprisoning himself in a beam of crystalline energy. The party recognizes this as the massive crystalline tree located in front of the Church of the Ironclad in Neverwood. Right before he is encased, Faven turns back and looks at the party and says, "Come and find me." This has all been to the Empress's delight. She has been trying to break the seals by removing Scar and overwhelming the guardian of the other temple in order to free her tribe. She heals Van and attempts to poison the whole party, only succeeding with Van. She does give them the next key, her crown, in trade for the crown that held the soul of Azok, which now lies empty. The mountain shakes in the distance and a Tarrasque wakes. It walks across the horizon and enters the ocean. The vanguard now run to the coast, where they encounter Annias and Chief Glintscale. He had faked his own death to ambush the Vrael and now begins his campaign as the vanguard board the ship. On board is another castaway, Karnan, and the vanguard convince him to go into hiding from the Revenant Bet and change his name to Colt Remington. With the Kraken busy fighting the Tarrasque, they sail back to the prime material and head to the mainland, where they quickly discover that months have passed for the days they spent on the island. It is now quickly approaching fall, and they had left at the end of winter.